quite right to call you the villains of the piece. I don't know how you feel about that. But certainly based on what we saw, I mean, there wasn't, in the opening episode, there isn't like a standout villain, but there's certainly a bit of subtext to what you guys were getting up to. It looks like a lot of fun to play, is that right?
Oh my God, so much fun to play.
She's cried 3 times
I haven't cried. No, I honestly had the absolute best time on this job, so much so that I did actually cry with happiness one evening because I was so happy about the job. I know, right? Anyway, no, but I absolutely love playing Esther. I think she's such a cool character, and as soon as I read the script, I was like, I really want this one. Please give it to me. And she's so much fun to play because she's just sassy and she doesn't care. She just doesn't care, and actually, it's quite her honesty is quite refreshing. I think
that shot of you walking off, I mean, that really just sold it. And I mean, it had to fit so much into one episode, so many characters, so many arcs coming up. Here's so and so. Here's so and so. This is the relationship. Yeah. You had that one moment where you walk ahead.
Yeah.
And
it's very lovely that moment. It really was nice. I really noticed that moment. It's like, hurry up.
Yeah, thank you. No, we came up that was quite. I naturally walk fast as a person, and it just so happened that Rose was dawdling, really, and I just gave her this little look.
It really worked.
And it worked for the character. It worked really well. So. Yeah.
How's that relationship between you and Rose? Are you able to just switch it on and off?
Oh yeah. Rose is the sweetest person on earth. So yeah. So when I'm Esther, I'm having to be, steely faced, very honest, and actually, it's. You can just switch. You guys just switch it on and off, and no, because she's so unbelievably sweet that no one could be nasty to her.
I know it's acting. I get that it's acting.
Yeah.
But still, she's like, I met her outside, and I was like, imagine having to be really nasty to someone that's this pleasant. Yeah. And is playing somebody so innocent.
Yep.
The double whammy.
It's the double whammy. No, it's I have.
Came easy to you.
Indeed,
So
indeed. Yeah, thank you. You're playing wonderfly well. Your character, typecast.
Yeah, but I just believe that question. But I mean, the same question to you. I mean, the same point to you. And you've got a character who's clearly got the dark side in there, and you must enjoy playing these characters, right?
I have like a really strong memory of watching film when I was younger and thinking to myself, where are the bad guys that you really like and empathise with, and sort of, they need to get some sort of comeuppance, but you just, you feel for them a bit. And I think people are complex, and I don't think anyone's either good or bad. I think it depends on the circumstance and the scenario. And as I said, I really like him. I think he's got issues, but I think all interesting people do. It was a joy to play him, and to be in his skin, and to feel what it's like to be a bloke at that time who essentially has a title, but none of the money to go with it, and is trying to find his place in the world, and mix that with a day-to-day objective of just having a laugh, which blokes want to do, everyone wants to do, girls want to do. And I think that carries you in quite good stead. Listen, everyone has anxiety, but people want to cope.
Well, I don't know because we've shown the rest of the show, but do you have a backstory in your head? Do you have a sense of where his issues have arisen from? Did we explore that?
I mean, we discussed it at length.
You discussed
it. They are stepbrother and sister, so it's figuring out when Esther was introduced to the family. My mother marries his father, and when that happened, and their dynamic after that, and what caused them to be the way they are. We definitely did a whole backstory to it. It helps any character. You have to understand where they've come from to know where they're going to end up. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on. I think it's complicated when people are going from childhood to adolescence to adulthood over that period of time. Blokes being later bloomers than girls, but that relationship of going prepubescent to post-pubescent is complicated, and when you're in the sphere of each other's company as much as Esther and Edward are, that's going to arise and leave some questions unanswered. And I think it was a discussion as to what had happened, what hadn't happened, and where the status of each other's relationship were with each other. Certainly at that period in time, women's obligation and status in the world was dictated by the man. So, you know, if Edward was on the breadline, so to speak, so was Esther, and if Edward was looked down upon in high society for being however badly behaved or well behaved, she took the brunt of that, or the positives of that. So they're a team, publicly and familiarly and sexually, in the whole works, really. It's a confusing but very interesting relationship to play out, and I think the audience will like it. But listen, who knows? But I would bet on it.
Do you take that conversation to Andrew and the writing team? Do you need to? Do you have that dialogue with them, or do you work it out amongst yourselves?
No, we work it out amongst ourselves and the director, because whatever's written is what we have to play, and it's our job to find the subtext in that. So we're the ones that have to find our backstory along with the director, and if it meets with the lines of what our characters, what's about to happen to our characters, I think it just helps and to have that discussion and to understand their relationship, I think.
Yeah, I think Andrew's. I said it earlier. There's David Lean used to say that the mark of a good film was you as an audience want to have dinner with 5 characters once you've seen it, and I feel like he's done that magically, Andrew. I mean, to get you to, the art of it really is to, you forget how many people are in the show. You're just relating to the characters. You feel for each one, and it's effortless. You go, okay, and it's very clever, the insight that you have. They put them in a specific Andrew puts them in a specific circumstance where you get to see an interesting character trait. Each scene is carefully and well thought out. So when it comes to us having a conversation with Ollie before we shoot and to rehearse the relationship or the initial meeting or something, you have such a great platform that really you're coming at it with the salt and pepper of it rather than, you know, the oregano. You're just seasoning the very end of it rather than having to get into the whole Gordon Ramsay of it.
Absolutely.
What is that there? Come on there, big boy.
What?
It's a bit of Gordon Ramsay for you.
You drew up a point there about there aren't too many black and white villains. In real life, I've always said that. Like, if you fall out with somebody, it's generally a disagreement around your perspective on life or whatever. I've only really met one person in my life who I think has got genuinely black heart.
I'm right here, dude.
He's here, right? Yeah.
Heart. Stand that man. But everyone else who I've disagreed with, I've taught me to be more objective about it, to understand why. And watching that show, you know, it was like, I think these guys might be the bad guys, but at the same time, you're sympathetic still. There's still enough there to be far more interested than just, you're not starch following villains.
No, it's less arch.
Well, there's a quote that I found somewhere the other day.
Do you remember this quote?
I don't remember,
earlier? No.
because I do.
This is one of my favourite things about her of all time is she goes, "There's this quote," and then fails A to remember it and B to what it's about.
The quote, but it's basically along the lines of people don't act out of malice; they act out of self-interest. So actually, and if you remember that throughout life, you will be more forgiving and understand where they're coming from. I think I was quite eloquent.
That point out.
She did well, actually. Bastard.
I've got a couple more general questions for you guys that they'd like me to ask. So, who's the naughtiest on set? Who causes the most trouble? You might know the answer to this.
He's a pretty. No, you're quite well behaved.
That's a difficult one because do you mean diva-like or do you mean?
Because stop.
I don't think I can do diva.
He's just
because
he's the most playful and.
We're quite playful.
We're quite playful. We always have a laugh. I have an awful laugh thanks to my mother.
It's a cackle.
It's a cackle, and you do hear it for miles. Sometimes.
You need to play one of the witches in Macbeth.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Yeah, so we've always had a laugh on set.
Yeah, we have a nice time. We keep it light. Marshall's very funny.
He's very funny. Annie's very funny.
Everyone is pretty funny.
Everyone's pretty.
Okay, maybe we should do who isn't funny.
You.
Yeah.
I remember the Riviera interviews, I asked one of the groups who's most likely to turn up hungover, and then it's like, oh god, is that the wrong question?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question.
I think they said Juliet.
She is always drunk, so yeah, that makes sense.
Whenever I start a new job and surrounded by strangers, I'm like, oh shit, I don't know anyone, this is a bit weird. This is such an ensemble cast. Did you have that? Or did you meet everyone beforehand? Was it your first day? And you're like, who are all these people? And have you worked with many of them before? What's it like doing a cast like that?
I think it's one of the best casts I've ever worked with. Honestly, I'm going to get all sentimental. I know, but I've really had such a good time on this job. It's sickening because you know people you want to be like, yeah, what happened? We genuinely all loved each other. Well, I did anyway. If anyone hates me, I'm
no one hates
none the wiser. And I think it's actually a sign of good casting if your cast get on and work well together. And it really was. I mean, we had such a laugh and a lovely time, and everyone had each other's backs. And
no one was above their station.
No.
I think that's where you can get into trouble, is when someone thinks they're above it, which no one did. Except me, of course, because I am above it.
And the main note, the main note I wrote down while I was watching was that casting is incredible.
Yeah.
You guys fit your characters so well.
Yeah.
Thanks. Is that a compliment?
No.
Is it cold-hearted?
Cold-hearted, smarmy.
Hey.
No, they're just so much fun to play. No, it has been really well cast. I think the cast are brilliant.
Where were you shooting this? And
Brazil.
you were based on set the whole time? Was it a long stint on location, or were you coming and going?
No, a lot of coming and going, really. We had some moments on the beach, which were
We shot all the way along, didn't we? We shot basically all of Bristol,
yeah,
the bottom of the yard, and then we did. Where was that? Where was the beach? Breen. That was pretty.
Oh, we had some days which were glorious.
Some days on the beach.
Yeah, that was really not like.
But when it got
really
to 5
lovely.
o'clock, have you ever, you know, when your geography teacher, when you were like 12, tried to explain to you a weather front, and you went, "What does this mean? I've never experienced it." Go to Breen Beach at 5 in the afternoon. You will experience a weather front.
Oh, we had
which is
to, yeah.
essentially, it feels like the end of the world. It's like being peppered with. Have you seen Game of Thrones? It's similar to A Song of Ice and Fire. It feels like.
We definitely had all weathers in on the beach, but it was
lovely.
We
had a great time.
Fun. It was
pretty
fun.
and
It was
charming
fun,
and
yeah.
lovely, and you actually really get into the atmosphere of what it must have been like to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must really help. Far better than Reid screen, I guess.
Yeah, we didn't have too
and
much of it. We only had very, very little green screen.
Yeah, I think I only did 2 bits.
I think I did one. Where
But they've cut you out.
Oh,
Given the world they've built up there, I mean, that's hugely impressive. Something like Thrones is constant green screen.
yeah, no, there was actually a lot of, anything on the beach was pretty much the beach. It's just between the town and the town and the sea, and that's it.
It was 2 moments. It's the only times I can remember it. One was the end of the town on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And one taking the town onto the beach.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm glad we all
finally,
agree.
what are you watching right now?
Stranger Things. Sorry, I love it. Oh my god, I'm not done yet, so don't. I'm also. Oh no, I won't say.
Go
it.
on.
No, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh well,
You can say it. Riviera season 2.
No, certainly not been watching that. Sorry.
Oh, really?
No, I have been. I really like What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoy
find
that.
it's very
The comedy. Bat. Sorry.
Game of Thrones. I liked not so much the last series of it, but Stranger Things. And then also Final Space. Have you seen Final Space? Flipping watch that. It's amazing.
What's it on? What is it?
It's on FX, but you can stream it. It's brilliant.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay. Thank you both so much
Thank
for joining
you.
us. It's a lot of fun.
Thank
Also,
you.
I tell you what I did just watch recently. It
Oh.
was Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which is just one of the funniest.
Oh.
I
The
mean,
original film.
yeah,
Well,
Yes, brilliant.
isn't it?
The remake. They did
No,
recently,
I'm not watching the
which was
remake.
stunningly boring.
But I mean, yeah, I mean,
it's lived of its time. Like, it hasn't dated brilliantly.
no, it's dated probably very poorly. But what I liked about it was how magnificent it is when she turns up at the end.
Yeah.
and walks down with that whole Greek family, and it's just like talking about how he's the king of Australia. That's one of my, or the, you know, that money tycoon. Listen, I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, but it is very funny, that film.
Well, it's just Steve Martin,
Yeah.
he's brilliant.
And Michael Caine. Come on.
Good stuff. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,